Good day, brothers and sisters in Christ. Welcome to our Sunday reflection for the 20th Sunday of Year C. The theme of our reflection is the object of our loyalty. I have come to bring fire to the earth. Luke chapter 12, verse 49. God demands total loyalty from us. John Kenneth Galbraith was a highly sought-after economist in the early 1900s. He shares a fascinating story about his housekeeper, Emily. He told her to hold the phone while he took a nap. Shortly after, the phone rang. It was Lyndon Johnson calling from the White House, demanding to speak to Mr. Galbraith. Emily told him that he was sleeping and had asked not to be disturbed. Johnson instructed her to wake him up, but she replied, "No, Mr. President, I work for him, not for you." When Galbraith eventually called the president back, he could hardly contain his pleasure. He said to him, "Tell that woman, I want her here in the White House." Like Emily the housekeeper, we can have only one object of loyalty, God alone. However, this may lead to rejection from a world that demands our loyalty. Our readings show how persecution results from loyalty to God. Prophet Jeremiah, in our first reading, suffered because he remained faithful to God. The people of Judah did not welcome his message, so they lowered him into an empty well. Jesus warns us to expect his message to provoke conflict and division. The reality is that living the gospel values involves making difficult choices that may be unpopular with friends and family members who do not share our faith. Our second reading encourages us in this light to imitate our ancestors in the faith who made similar choices, and Jesus, who is called the perfecter of our faith. Are we as passionate as Jeremiah, Jesus, and the saints regarding our faith? There are two areas we need to consider. The first area of consideration is our public conduct. Jesus came to bring a spiritual fire, a holy fire, to undo the power of evil in the world and renew the face of the earth in every age. At baptism, we're invited to join in that campaign. We can join it by educating our children about the faith, by speaking gospel truth to the people with whom we live and work, insisting on honesty and fairness in business, politics, and government, struggling to restore a moral conscience to our nation through opposing the evil of abortion and euthanasia, the promotion of sexual promiscuity, and the cancer of dishonesty. This is the public side of the campaign. However, there is a personal dimension without which our words will fall flat and have no effect on anyone because it demands living with integrity. Our values should not be conflated with those of our society, which are often confused. We must not be morally adrift, unsure about right and wrong, about what makes for deep human fulfillment. We must not be indifferent to the dignity of human life and casual about commitments and loyalties, especially to God. The personal challenge is to allow the truth we proclaim to find a home in our lives. People will only be attracted to the truth if they see it beautifully expressed in us. Attempting to transform the world without first changing our lives will turn us into clowns, ostrich in the sand, whom no one will take seriously. Where do we find the motivation to live with integrity and endure rejection, even from those closest to us? We see the answer in our second reading regarding Jesus, who for the sake of the joy that was set before him endured the cross. Joy is the motivation. But what is joy? According to James Martin, and I quote, joy is not simply a fleeting feeling or an evanescent emotion. It is a deep-seated result of one's connection to God. Although the more secular definition of joy may sometimes describe one's emotional response to an object or event, wonderful though it may be, a new job, for example, religious joy is always about a relationship. Joy has an object, and the object is God. End of quote. It is not surprising that Jesus encourages us to pray constantly so that we may not become discouraged. Luke chapter 18, verse 1. Through prayer, we develop a relationship with God, who is the object of our loyalty and who grants us joy to withstand rejection and persecution. Our loyalty remains solely to Him. This week, I challenge you to do the following. 1. Are there ways in which family members or friends make it difficult for you to follow Christ? List out some strategies to lovingly hold onto your faith. Secondly, read about a saint you admire who suffered because of their faith in Jesus. Ask that they become an encouraging cloud of witnesses for you. Third, say a decade of the Rosary for those who are persecuted for their faith. Have a blessed week.